the fuck happened with my hair, but have you done something productive or meaningful in 2024? If you have, congratulations, but you can double or triple that amount, that number in 2025. But if you haven't, listen bro, like I started this channel, I've read over 20 books, summited 4,000ers in my country. And if you want to listen to what I did and what things I've learned throughout this year, we're starting from January to March. Essentialism. Let's start with the period when I started this channel. It's been like 2 months. I'm recording videos. I got my first video that went on 100 views. You know, that was a surprise for me. Let's say it like that. My first 8 subscribers. I've had like 0 streak for 1 month or something like that. And it popped off to 8 subs. I realized like something's not going well. I was doing 5 things at the same time. Like I was taking my IELTS test. I was going to the driving school. I was like hanging out with my friends all the time. Completely got more free time because everything I did was scrolling YouTube, doing some shit, doing everything, but not something meaningful. So I doubled down on this shit. I started focusing on Adonis Protocol. I found meaning in it. Hamza posted it and I'm like, that's a genius idea. I can do it, talk about my experience. So that's how I got my first 1.5k views. I basically cut out everything, like sugar, hang out with my friends. We basically did meet up in school, but besides that, I was just free to do my YouTube stuff, get an okay grades just to pass by and obsess over one girl, but that's for later. That's when I first realized that, you know what I'm saying, if you keep doing those 5 things at the same time, you're not going nowhere. Your energy is not infinite. If you spread yourself to 5 things, well, you will get like 20% in each thing. If you channel it into 1 or 2 things, then it's gonna explode. Absolutely. I saw it instantly. As soon as I started focusing on my kind of YouTube thing, it got to 1.5k views. Soon I got to 100 subs. Like that shit is not a joke. If you're struggling with like tossing things over with your studies, with your side hustle, just try focusing on the most meaningful thing. Cut out everything else. And that's when I realized that discipline is actually bad. I got burnt out right after I stopped this Adonis Protocol shit. That shit is not sustainable. You have to look for something else. You will not do intensive work for a whole year. This is basically a bullshit that you've been fed up on YouTube when, you know, you heard David Goggins, like Andrew Tate and all those tough guys. But action step for the beginning of the year is approach your life with meaning. Approach your routine with meaning. Cut out useless things or things that just don't contribute to your like future, to your goal. Live one thing in one area of your life. Health, wealth, relationships. Health can be hiking or gym. Wealth is an online business. Relationships, one girl. Simple as that. And why discipline is bad? Because I've got my notes here. Next part of my life is fun. From March to May. That's when I started doing more adventures. I was cold approaching girls a lot. I was like chatting with them. Tried to get one in my school. Actually tried to get 2 in my school. Bought a new mic. All of those things compounded. Started listening to more rap, you know, beef with Kendrick and Drake. I accidentally made a video about, you know, rapping Kendrick's song from the diss. I don't know why, but I started having more fun with it. I started experimenting with stuff. There was a Republic Championship and I realized like there are 2 extremes. When you're being super disciplined, hard, tough guy, and when you're being aloof, I don't give a fuck guy that just does everything. I'm young, I can afford this and all of that stuff. None of them work, genuinely. You have to find balance. So I will realize it in the summer, but for that time, I had a lot of fun. Like I wasn't having no boring days. I was doing my YouTube thing. I've got 200 subs, but it was just all over the place. It's like when you're dating multiple girls or you're chatting with multiple girls, you can, you know, you're always anxious. It's like your brain is loaded with 3 lines in your head. Storyline with first girl, storyline with second girl, and with third one. You have your local jokes with first one, you have another jokes with third one. Second girl wants some other rules and boundaries that, you know, that's just a mess. So you have to be disciplined at some point, but feel enjoyment. Like, what do you actually want? If money were not a question, what would it be? Like, I wouldn't genuinely talk about, you know, self-improvement. I kind of like it, but it's outdated. You know what I'm saying? When you're just basically jerking off your own dick, it's not helping you from like 3 months from when you started. So the action step for this part is just enjoy your work. Approach it with fun. Like experiment. You can come back to your own genre or your one niche, but try things out. Maybe you would like recording some challenges. Maybe you would like to record on TikTok. I don't know. Find fun in your work, but don't steal fun from your life. Going out with girls is absolutely fine. Like staying late with your friends is fine. Like you have to embrace it, and you have to embrace challenges. Because I've competed in Republic Championship in arm wrestling. You know, I've lost, but that was a good experience. Like, you're getting some energy from that shit. Like, seriously, if you're competing in some sport when, you know, you have to outplay someone, it's not like you play with yourself, but there's genuinely a competition. That's when you're growing. Get more challenges like that. You know, not telling you to get into martial arts, but that could be fun. What was fun for me is the next chapter, June and August. Focus. That's when I genuinely found out what focus is, what like elimination lifestyle is, minimalism, whatever you call it. But dude, I just cut out everything, genuinely. Yeah, I've had a prom night, I finished high school, but after that, it all went straight. Like, I genuinely found out what focus means, because everything I did was make videos, experiment, make new products, go to the gym, hike, and repeat the process. I started my school community. It flopped heavily. I made my first landing page, my first email newsletter, my course, another course that I've given up. There was a productivity course, but I don't know. I've just tried a bunch of stuff. I was really focused on my own thing. I just cut out basically everything. You know, it sounds boring, but that's what focus means. Like, it's meaningful for me. It may not be for you, so you find it boring. But it's like a hunter goes out to the wilderness and he's absolutely free. Like, he's doing his craft and he has unlimited time for it. Isn't that awesome? And that's what I felt. You know, that was kind of hard. Doing work basically a whole day. Like, you're doing so much hours that it's not deep work anymore. You're just sitting there like a 9-to-5 worker just to get more like sitting hours done, but not the meaningful work, impactful work. But that's not the point. I've summited my first 4,000er. It's like Peak Komsomolets, 4,200 meters. Absolutely insane. I summited in 9 hours. Spent whole day. We started at 7 and I was at home at 11. That shit was a real challenge, bro. And you have to try on your own. You have to try an elimination lifestyle when you're basically focused on one thing. Best period is summer, of course. Double down on your thing. Like, I'll talk about it later, but I got this thing. I got this thing right here. Like, it's a shame to not make money. I have no excuse now. I was putting blame on my old PC that is not doing anything for me. Now I have a MacBook. I have to make money. Action step for this part is learn to get into flow. Flow in long and short term. You know, short term flow state is basically a concept that you've heard from a book called Flow. It's when you lose a sense of time and when you do one task at a time and you basically get lost in it. We all know about this feeling, but flow in the long term is when you found out your routine. You established everything. You know hour by hour what you're gonna do and you're diving deep into that shit. I haven't had that for a while because there was some chaos in the last days. I'm gonna talk about it soon, but you know, with that MacBook, I was setting it up for an eternity, bro. Went to mountains, went on a date with the girl. That was a mess, bro. Like, you have to find a peace, a flow. When you have no like force majeures, when you know everything, you plan ahead. That's when you find a peace. You have to cut out other distractions. Distractions were my biggest bottleneck. I just couldn't escape my phone. I just couldn't escape like jerking off or procrastinating. Wasting 30 minutes just before I started my work. I found out how to get along with it. I found out how to like enjoy myself, how to enjoy the life with Nurti, with Nurtilek, with my own. I genuinely was alone that whole summer and I enjoyed it because you will face the time when you will have no friends, when the girl will leave you, no one's gonna help you, your parents are not understanding you, you're not having good conversations, bro. That's the part when you're one-on-one with yourself and you will get lost, bro. You will get lost. It just happened that I got used to it. Like, if right now a girl ghosts me or guys that I go hiking with gonna ghost me, I'm gonna be fine. I'm feeling absolutely fine. But the time when I stop being alone is the next chapter, September to October. Time management. That's when I realized how important it is. I just found the ability to compress my work by 2 hours. Basically, get the same block in 4 hours, but compress it in 2 hours and get the same shit done. That's probably the most important skill you need to learn to win in the new era. When you're a busy student, you've got no free time. What you've got left is like 1 or 2 hours that you spend on basically scrolling, chatting with your friends. I know it's fun, but you have to do something to escape that shit, to escape mediocrity. I know you're still in like a system in Matrix. It's cringe to call it like that, but let's be honest. We're not free. Like, we're not financially capable of leaving our country, live with ourselves, rent some villa, and just enjoy our life. We can't. So we have to start doing something on the side. And if you're already an established solopreneur, you know, time management is basically the ability to like get more work done in the same hours or find more hours and accordingly do more work. I went into university. I have to be there 1 year in order to apply for Italian universities next year. So I basically have no time. I'm like going to the gym, going to uni, I'm doing my work, and boom, it's gone. Solid 10 hours a day, including commute, including like breakfast, lunch, chatting, talking to my friends, wherever. And those 2 to 3 hours that I had in the evening, I used them so wisely. I didn't get so much results that time, but I've switched over the niche. I know where I am right now. I'll just double down into this shit. I know my purpose. I know my task. I just have to double down, keep my foot on the gas. By the way, I've summited tallest mountain in my history. It's 4,500 meters. It's Peak Uchitel, translated as like teacher peak. 4,500 meters is the tallest mountain that can be hiked only by your feet, like with no gear, with like no ropes, no crampons and whatever. That shit was hard as fuck. And I found the right system to do what's meaningful for me and cut out other useless shit. What did I need? My YouTube and hiking and go to the gym. Like that's all I needed. That's all I needed for my happiness. So system that will work for me every single day is do most impactful work first thing in the day, spend time in university, go to the gym, kill myself right there, train for hiking, go home, work, do some chores. My day is the same for weeks and months, but that's what I like in it. I can be better because I don't have to overthink what I'm gonna do next day or what new thing I'm gonna try. Holy fuck, the schedule is right in front of you. And the actionable step for this part, turn your work into a base instinct. Like you have to perceive your work as a natural calling to shit, to piss, whatever. You have to be so used to working that it's like basically your natural need, your physiological need. You can do it by basically not missing the working days. First, have to approach your work as a habit. Do your work every single day for 15 minutes. Sounds shallow, but when you get used to it in like 21 days, as science told me, then it's a habit. But to turn it into a base instinct, you have to do it for 60 or more days. Just imagine, 60 days of doing the same action at the same time of the day. You will be guilty. You will be feeling physically sick if you didn't work that time. And use MVP concept, minimum viable product, from business type of thing. So minimum viable product is when you're like building the first product and you're not trying so hard. Your main goal is to put it out on the market so that you've started. I've created a minimum viable studying. When you're basically doing bare minimum in your uni just to get okay grades and spend as less time as possible right there and put everything into your business. Such a top thing I've understood is like delegation. But you can't delegate studying. You can't delegate other shit like editing. You're on your own. So do it, but as little as possible. Don't waste time in the traffic. Try to save up your time more. Time is more valuable than everything you can think of. Because the next part is December. Consistency and patience. You know, the discipline and willpower I needed to wait for this shit is hilarious. I basically waited 4 months for this shit because I've got fucking scammed. I've got fucking scammed on this laptop 4 months ago. I lost $800 and I had to get this thing brand new on my own. My father gave me money. I lost it. So I started getting my own money. I've sold my PlayStation. I've sold a bunch of stuff. I was giving money on my birthday, saving as much as possible. But, you know, I'm gonna record a separate video about this machine, but it's absolutely incredible. Look how thin it is, man. Look how thin it is. It's light as fuck. I've learned that, you know, you just have to wait for it. Don't rush things. They will happen. As soon as you put a consistent effort, as soon as you put in work, you will get something back. That will come with time. Because if you're talking about an online business, it's not a linear growth. You put some work, you get immediate reward, and the more put in, the more you get. You put a lot of effort in the beginning. You will get no results. You put in more and more, yet still nothing. And one day, when you will not expect it, it will explode. It's an exponential growth. First 10 months of the year, if you've been working, if you've been grinding, you will get nothing. On the last month of the year, you will explode. You will get your first sale. You will get a lifetime customer, whatever. You would not be able to get it without those 11 months of grinding. So you have to wait for it. I've learned this thing the hard way. Fortunately, you can just listen to me, avoid this shit. And you know, something about relationships. Don't focus on hookups, bro. Like, they're not worth it. I know all that red pill shit and cold approaching, getting casual sex. I know you're horny, but they just ain't gonna give you nothing. You will find so much more fulfillment from just focusing on one girl, like trying to build a healthy relationships with her, and you will get the highest quality sex ever. You will get highest quality conversations, love, support, but not those one-time hookups with girl that is not even worth it. She's attractive, she's sexually attractive, no worried about that, but deep down you know you're not gonna be with her. She's just not wife quality. The thing with get the experience, date more girls right now, have fun when you can, then you will settle down with just some girl. But who tells you to not get experience with wifey material girls? They're not specifically Christian girls that sit in their home every single day waiting for the prince to come by the time they're 25. They're outside. They're going out. I just need to raise up my standards. Like, if I'm not vibing with girl, if I know that I'm not gonna stay with her for more than 2 years, I'm out. No thanks, I'm fine. You know, that's just the thoughts of a young man trying to be productive. You know, if you're interested in working with me, I will double or triple your productivity. Everything is in the link below. That's all. Bye.